All right, I'm ready to start.
All right, stand up, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you're in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It's important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, and you will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? And let me add one more thing. As I go through the calendar with everyone, and ma'am, you can put your hand down. As I go through the calendar with everyone, you're going to get an opportunity to ask whatever question or say whatever you want to say after I've given you the information that I give you. This whole process moves a lot more smoothly if you're not interrupting me every third word. So keep in mind that you're going to have the opportunity to speak to me till your heart is satisfied. But do it at the end when I'm done, when I give you your dates, and I'll ask if you have any question. And that's your time to just speak, and I'll be quiet and I'll listen to you respectfully and I'll hear you out. Okay. All right. Let's start with I believe Is it Jackson Andrews?
Andrews. Yes, yes, George. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you see that.
Okay, have a seat.
And would you do me a favor and turn the volume down just a little bit on the speakers on the lady side? So I'm getting some feedback.
Okay, George, one moment.
All right, let's test it out. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Miss Wesley. Miss Jackson Andrews, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of public indecency, 1 count of obstructing an officer, and 1 count of possession of a controlled substance. I've set a $2,000 bond on the public indecency, a $2,000 bond on the obstructing of an officer, and a $3,000 bond on the possession of a controlled substance. So that's total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
No.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Sedilio?
See ya.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that offense, and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related object. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for a total bond of $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah, can I go through bondsman?
Yes, you can. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Cook? Ms. Cook, ma'am, you've been charged also with 1 count of possession of a controlled substance and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. I've set the bond at $3,000 for the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and I've set the bond at $1,500 for the use or possession of drug-related objects. So that's going to also be a total bond of $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set the bond at $3,000 for that offense. 1 count of theft by taking, I've set the bond at $2,000, and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And I've set the bond at $20,000. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $25,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Can I go to a bondsman?
Yes, you can go through a bondsman.
Like they do setup thing, payment, like how does that work? This is my first time ever dealing with any of this, right?
Okay, so it depends upon the bonding company, but I tell everyone to contact the companies that are authorized to write bonds here in Clayton County and see what they're willing to do. They can put you on a payment plan. They'll do a lot of stuff, but if you're a person that they deem to not be a good financial risk, they may not place you on a payment plan.
Mhm. And how much is the bond again?
$25,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set. Well, first, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Karen Johnson. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer?
Yes, please.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Lane. Miss Lane, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent it made you a less safe driver. There's going to be a $3,000 bond set on the criminal trespass charge and a $5,000 bond set on the driving under the influence charge. So that's going to be a total bond set at $8,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I think that I can afford an attorney. I think that's probably best. I don't, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
In case I do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, I can still retain my own lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'd like to see if I do qualify just for the sake.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If you decide to retain your own lawyer, just notify the appointed lawyer that you are going to discharge that person of their employment, and you're going to hire your own lawyer. Okay, Ms. Tozak, I'm going to come to you in a moment.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Phillips. I'm sorry, is it Scott or Phillips? Okay, Ms. Phillips, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight. Bond is going to be set at $500, and 1 count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. These are both misdemeanors. Your total bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I have an attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Scott? Ms. Scott, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. 1 count of simple assault. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. 1 count of disorderly conduct. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $10,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Judge, repeat the question again for her.
I'm sorry.
Repeat the question. She didn't hear you.
Okay. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. 1 count of simple assault. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. 1 count of disorderly conduct. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So your total bond is going to be set at $10,500. You believe you can post that bond?
Speak aloud. Yes or no?
Like pay for it?
Yes.
No, I can't.
She said no.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to post a bond, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, I go CPS school.
Just gonna say yes or no. Or no.
What?
You need a lawyer.
Yeah.
She say yes, George.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Come on.
We got one more person and we'll be done on the lady side. We have Mr. Hernandez ready to go. Okay, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated battery. Bond is going to be denied at this point on that offense, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And I've set a bond at $5,000. I've placed a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Tyrese Williams. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm going to set a bond hearing date for November 19th at 8:30 in the morning. Both of those are going to be in courtroom 201. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Mr. Hernandez, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your help on the lady side, and hope you had a great weekend.
George.
Mr. Hernandez, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Hernández, hola, buenos días. ¿Puede usted oír y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta diligencia es su comparecencia inicial en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia.
I'm not here to take a plea in your case or to have a trial of your case.
No estoy aquí para aceptar una declaración a acusaciones, tampoco para aceptar un juicio en su caso.
I'm here to tell you that you've been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent that you're a less safe driver.
Estoy aquí para informarle que se le acusa de manejar bajo los efectos de alcohol hasta tal punto que era un conductor descuidadoso.
Bond is going to be set at $5,000 on that offense.
La fianza para esa infracción se le impone a $5,000.
You're also charged with driving a vehicle without a valid license.
También se le acusa de manejar un vehículo sin licencia válida.
Bond is going to be set at $1,000 for that offense.
Se le impone la fianza a $1,000 para esa infracción.
And you're charged with driving on the wrong side of the road.
También se le acusa de manejar en el sentido contrario.
Bond is going to be set at $500.
Se le impone la fianza para esa infracción a $500.
You're going to have a total bond set at $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Su fianza total se le impone a $6,500. ¿Piensa que va a poder depositar esa fianza para salir?
Sí.
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning.
Se señala su audiencia preliminar para el 16 de noviembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
In courtroom 201.
En la sala 201.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
La audiencia quedará renunciada una vez que salga en libertad bajo fianza y le mandará a notificar por correo de la próxima audiencia judicial.
You have the right to an appointed attorney if you qualify. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Usted tendrá derecho a un abogado de oficio si cumple los requisitos. Quiere que yo determine si usted reúne los requisitos para un abogado de oficio? Okay.
Are you currently working, sir?
¿Está trabajando actualmente, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
¿Como cuánto está ganando por hora?
25.
25.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted sí cumple los criterios para un abogado de oficio, así que le voy a designar uno para representarlo.
Do you have any questions of me?
Señor, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
Sí.
Yes.
Si pago hoy la fianza, ¿salgo o va a ser hasta ese día que dicen?
If I pay the bond, will I get out or will it not be until the date that you gave me?
You will get out today if you post your bond today.
Si se deposita la fianza hoy, entonces saldrá hoy.
Ok, entonces, pues sí la pagan, pero pues yo no puedo hablar ahí por teléfono porque no se escucha nada y no sé.
Okay. Okay, they'll pay it, but may I make a phone call because on that phone you can't hear anything.
You will be allowed to use the telephone.
A usted sí le van a permitir usar el teléfono.
I don't control the jail. They have their own internal policies.
No controlo la cárcel, ellos tienen su propia política interna.
You would have to speak to a member of the sheriff's staff and follow their direction.
Tendrá que hablar con uno del personal de la comisaría de sheriff y seguir sus instrucciones. Okay.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Muy bien, señor, ya se puede retirar.
Thank you, Ms. Tolles. I hope you had a great weekend also.
Thank you. Same to you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, you are Mr. Crockett.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with 2 counts of failing to make a report of an accident.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a bond set at $500 on each one of those. It has it listed on the warrant as a felony, but I believe those are misdemeanor charges. You're also charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with no insurance. Bond's gonna be set at $1,000. 1 count of improper lane change. Bond is gonna be set at $500. 1 count of reckless driving. Bond is set at $2,000. And 1 count of distracted driving. Bond is gonna be set at $1,000. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
If I'm not able to post it, today, when I do post it, am I still able to go?
Yes. Your bond will be your bond. And you can choose to pay it today, or you can choose to pay it 2 weeks from now. But when you post your bond, you will be allowed to leave.
Okay, and then what if I know somebody that lives in Georgia, but they don't have a Georgia, but they don't have a Georgia ID? Would they still be able to pay the percentage?
So I'm going to come back to that. Mr. Crockett, remember the announcement I made at the beginning about when I give you the information, and I'll ask if you have any questions, and then I'll let you speak until you get tired of speaking, okay? So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th. At 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. And I'll check this just to make certain, but if I'm wrong about this offense being a misdemeanor, and that if it is in fact a felony, your preliminary hearing date will be November 15th. But each of those days, the same thing happens, that once you post bond, this gets waived and you get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I cut you off. Your question was if a friend can assist in your bonding out, correct?
No, no, it was, if I know somebody who lives here, but they don't have a Georgia, but they don't have a Georgia ID, would they still be able to pay the percentage with a bonding company?
My understanding is the answer to that question is yes, that the bonding company is primarily concerned about the person that they're writing the bond for. And if you did not live within the state, they may not write the bond for you because essentially they don't want you going up to New York and not coming back. And then they have to expend the money to go up to New York to try to bring you back. But a person that is assisting financially is not in the same boat as you. 'Cause as long as that person has money and the money can spend, that I think they will allow that to happen. Okay. Any other questions, sir?
That's all.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Davis,
How you doing?
I'm doing well, Mr. Davis. You're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent that you're a less safe driver. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that offense. You're also charged with impeding traffic. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that. And driving a vehicle on a expired or invalid tag, bond is going to be set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Do you have any court?
Yes, Judge, my tag on my truck is legit. My birthday is September 29th, that's coming up. So my tag, I haven't got my tag yet for this time.
Okay, so the way that it's written here is unregistered vehicle, and it's under Title 40-2-8. That is a discussion you should have with your lawyer. Okay.
I was trying to tell the policeman that you would look at my dashboard and got my papers, you would say, and look at my tag to go by your birthday. That's when you renew your tag, right? By your birthday?
Yes, sir. The state of Georgia has to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they can't, the charges go away. But you can be charged with spitting on the sidewalk and not spitting on the sidewalk. That's why we try to have this proceeding as quickly as possible, get you set up. You said you have a lawyer. So I'm sorry.
No, I get one. I get my own.
Okay, but that's the stuff that you tell your lawyer. And all of these documents are public documents. So none of this stuff is being hidden from you, okay?
What's my bond was?
$6,000.
It's fine. No problem.
Okay, all right, sir, you're free to go back.
William. Hey, you say we need phone somewhere else, all phone work, some one phone work, one phone.
Tell me your name, sir.
Where folks?
Okay, Mr. Foltz, sir, you're charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I've set the bond at $3,000 for that offense. One count of use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And one count of loitering or prowling. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th because the possession of methamphetamine is a felony offense at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. An OR bond, does it conceive of someone or bonding me out, or how do I get, if I can't bond out?
Okay, so the OR bond situation is limited in its application, and that's college student with no criminal history, has a marijuana, cigarette, a joint, or whatever in their possession. But it's not just a catch-all for everyone that, you know, you just commit as many crimes as you want or get arrested as many times as you want. And then say you need an OR bond. That's not how it's viewed.
What if I'm homeless and I don't have no money?
Well, I mean, the allegation is that you're possessing methamphetamine. So you had money based upon the allegations to go buy drugs.
I understand.
So, I mean, the OR bond situation is not one where it's just you do whatever you want to do and then you come to court and you say that you're homeless and you need to get back out.
I understand.
And from looking at your criminal history, you've had some felony convictions.
Right.
Okay. All right, sir. Is there anything else?
No, sir.
All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Thanks.
All right.
You are Mr. Glivens?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you charged with one count of driving a vehicle on an expired or invalid tag, one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of a felony amount of marijuana, and one count of use or possession of drug-related objects, and finally, possession of a weapon, excuse me, during the commission of a crime. You're gonna have $500 bond set on the tag charge, a $5,000 bond set on the felony possession of marijuana, a $1,500 bond set on the use or possession of drug-related objects, and a $2,000 bond set on the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. So your total bond is going to be $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. How much do you make per hour?
1350.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, when you said operating a vehicle with expired tags, that includes just sitting in the car, because I wasn't driving the car. Car wasn't moving.
So if you were in the driver's seat or that car belongs to you, it is supposed to be registered. Okay. So if they run the tag or the little sticker or whatever, and they determine that the car is not properly registered, they would charge you with driving a vehicle on an expired tag.
Okay. And one more question. So that means, like the last guy said, I know it's about birthday, but like it says September 21. So doesn't that mean I have till September to get it straightened out, or I have till my birthday in September to get started?
Well, so and this is speaking generally, because this is a question that should be directed towards your lawyer. Not talking about you, but in a general sense, you get the month of your birthday to register the vehicle. After your birth date, the vehicle is considered to be unregistered. Now, grace period, all of that kind of stuff may come into play, but your specific situation, I can't speak on it because I don't know about it. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No.
Okay, free to go back. Mr. Hodge?
It's Hodge, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. You're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of cruelty to children, and the third. Okay. One count of cruelty to children in third degree bond is going to be set at $3,000. And one count of obstructing an officer bond is going to be set at $2,000. So that's a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
It's possible.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Ashley Olmsted. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions?
Yes. So the person I'm staying away from, we have a child here. How can I make that work out? Like, will we meet up somewhere or drop my son off or what?
Are you married to this person?
No.
Do you have a custody order in place?
Against me or on?
No, like just a custody arrangement of you're gonna have the child on these dates. She's gonna have the child.
Order. No, we haven't.
Okay. So as far as the law is concerned, well, one last question. Have you gone through a legitimation process with the child?
I've been asked that several times and I have not.
Okay. So as far as the law is concerned, this child has no father. So as long as this is going to be in place, you're going to have to, unless she wants you around, you're going to have to stay away from the child, or you're going to have to go through the legal process of asserting your rights. Because when a child is born out of wedlock, the law presumes that the child is without a father, even though that's a legal fiction. Now, have you done anything like signed any documentation? Because you don't necessarily have to go through the process of 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 DNA testing and stuff like that, you can assert I'm the father of a child, and you can sign documents that are notarized that say you're the father of a child. Have you done any of that?
As I say, if I'm not mistaken, the day he was born, I signed papers saying that I'm his father, stuff of that nature at the hospital.
Okay. Do you still have that paperwork?
I do. Not with me, but it's where I live.
Okay. So you need to pull that paperwork out and you need to take the steps necessary to assert your rights as a father. And that means filing the appropriate documents within court.
Okay, and I do have another question for you also.
Okay.
You said obstruction of an officer. How did I necessarily obstruct an officer when it was us two until they arrived?
I'll tell you the allegation in your case.
Mhm. And I have one more question for you also.
Okay.
I'll wait till you're done.
Yeah. It's it looks like the allegation that's made in your case is the officer alleges that you tried to leave the location when the officer arrived. But these are allegations. Is in the state of Georgia has to prove it. So what's your next question, sir?
Is there any possible way you could lower my bond at all?
So I'll tell you what. I'll reduce the bond on the obstructing an officer to $1,000 and the bond, reduce the bond on the cruelty to children from 3,000 to 2,000.
Okay.
So that's gonna be $8,000.
That's very much more manageable. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, sir. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go back. Is it Mr. McCougal? McCoggle. Okay, sir. You have 3 warrants, but I only have a bond order for 2 charges. So I'm gonna have to figure out what happened, but
You said I got 3 points.
hold on a second.
I'm positive.
You're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act with possession of hydrocodone, morphine, and oxycodone pills. I'm setting a $5,000 bond for that. You're charged with having, they call it dangerous drugs in a container that the drugs were not prescribed for. So basically, it's against the law to take your pills out of the prescription bottle and put them in other things. So that's what you're being charged with having the pills outside of a prescription bottle. I set a $2,000 bond for that. Now, there are 4 of the warrants that were written by the officer for the same offense. And this is officer out of Forest Park, but it has not, I don't have it on the bond order, which could be a number of reasons why that happened. There are 2 additional charges of a headlight, driving a vehicle without a headlight, and driving a vehicle that have the tail lights out. And the warrant numbers for those two offenses are 2021 WA 17000. And there's a $500 bond for both of these charges. So for warrant number 2021 WA 17000, I'm going to set a $500 bond, and for warrant number 2021 WA 17001, I'm going to set a $500 bond. Now, the officer also charged you with two other offenses: obstruction of an officer and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. And so the obstruction of an officer is warrant number 2021 WA 17002. I'm going to set a $2,000 bond for that. And possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the warrant number is 2021 WA 17003. I'm going to set a $1,500 bond. So you're going to have a total bond set at $4,500. And these are going to be set on the four that I told you that are missing. I'm going to put those on a separate bond order, and it's going to be handwritten. And I'm doing that so you won't be sitting here while we're trying to figure out what happened, so that you can go ahead and make arrangements to bond yourself out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. So just to make certain that I've told you the right thing, you're going to have a $5,000 bond on the drug charge, $2,000 bond on the pills not in the right container, $500 bond on the headlights, a $500 bond on the tail lights, and a $2,000 bond on the obstruction of an officer, and a $1,500 bond on the possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So your total bond is going to be, looks like $11,500 when you add up these 6 charges. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, I'm gonna get lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
So I could bond out today, just pay that $11,500.
Yes, sir. I'm responsible for doing the paperwork. So as soon as this hearing is over, I start doing the make sure I've dotted the I's and crossed the T's and sign my name where I need to sign it. And I send the paperwork over to the sheriff's department, and they start inputting the information. So unless I get called off into doing something else, it generally takes me about 2 hours. So this hopefully will be inputted in the system somewhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
All right.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Menifee.
Yes, sir.
Hi, sir, you're charged 1 count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, because I just paid our rent and bills yesterday. Can I ask you a question? What is criminal trespass?
Okay, so criminal trespass can be completed in 2 ways in Georgia. That's destroying somebody else's property or being in a place where you're not supposed to be. In this particular instance, they're alleging that you punched a hole in a bedroom wall.
Man,
And
that little hole, but I pay the bill there. That's my house. But I'm saying, how you locked up in my own house? Tear up my own wall that I pay for. I don't understand it.
so what happens and what people don't realize is that when you either invite another person to live with you, or you rent the house, that becomes that person's residence also. And anything that you do to destroy that residence can be criminal trespass, even though you're the person that pays the bills. So I tell people that are in your position, unless you plan on marrying somebody, don't have them living with you.
We all engaged to be married next month. That's why I'm not, it's crazy, isn't it? Is there any way I can get a signature bond? Cause okay.
No. And I'll tell you this. And I'm trying to be as polite as I can. If your standpoint or your position is that this person made this story up, then you shouldn't be married to that person. If you did what is alleged in here, you shouldn't be married to that person. So you can either sign yourself up for, you and I can become best friends over court with you coming in and, because it's just not, life is not meant to be lived this way. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Now, I'm placing a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Miss Angelia Payne. And the reason we do that, Mr. Menifee, is because we don't want whatever happened yesterday to cause you to appear before me today to flare back up.
So where am I supposed to go live there? I mean, what am I supposed to do everything I have there? I mean, what am I supposed to do? I just can't up and move.
You can make arrangements with the sheriff's department to come get some of the stuff.
And take them where? That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Menifee. All right. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow. The law says that a person who is alleged to be a victim cannot be forced to leave their residence just because they were the victim of a crime. So you may pay every bill in that house, and I still am required by law to tell you to go someplace else. This can change. It can change tomorrow. If she calls the solicitor's office and says, hey, I don't want this stay away provision on, take it off. I'm not afraid of him. That's her right.
She told the police that. She told them I didn't take, she didn't want me to go to jail. But they said I gotta go anyway.
Who called the police?
We have no idea. Well, I was in the house upstairs, that's what I'm saying. She told me, she said the police downstairs, the police wants you.
Are you in a house?
Yes, I'm in a house.
Okay.
I was in my house, the police was in my house. They called me from upstairs.
So, Mr. Menifee, I'm assuming she's the person that called the police. I mean, she may tell you she doesn't know, but I tell people all the time, think about it, Mr. Menifee. When have you seen the police walking down the street, knocking on people's doors saying, can I arrest somebody today?
Well, I don't know, maybe I killed something, but she couldn't, because she was upstairs with me the whole while. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we wouldn't, I don't know.
Yeah, somebody called.
Yeah.
Somebody called, and it was somebody that was in your house. So I hate to tell you that, but when you're like, you don't know, Hey, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna find you qualified. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Menifee?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Nicholson. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an Ernest Newton. Do you understand that?
Yeah, what you want me to do?
Stay away from Ernest Newton. I
So when
thought I just said that.
All right, so when I get home, who come pick me up?
Okay. I'm gonna ask you the same question that I was just asking Mr. Menifee.
Yeah.
Who called the police?
I tried to, but he kicked me out the house yesterday around like 4 or 5. And that's it.
So the allegation is that you punched Mr. Newton in the head.
Yeah, and the other question is, who am I live with?
So, Mr. Nicholson,
Yeah.
based upon the allegation, it said that you punched somebody in the head, and I'm not asking you to comment on that, okay?
Okay.
But when you ask, where am I gonna live? If you had not allegedly punched somebody in the head, you'd be sleeping in your bed right now.
Yeah.
So when you did something allegedly that caused you to come to jail, the question is not, what are you gonna do? It's what are you not gonna do next time?
Okay.
All right. So I can't be, and I've said this before, and people, they get upset. I can't be more concerned about your life than you are concerned about it. Okay. So all I can do is do stuff that is under the law, and do stuff that relates to public safety. But if people want to live their life a certain way where they got to find another place to live and all of that kind of stuff, hey, you're an adult, have at it. Okay. But right now, there's going to be a stay away provision for you to stay away from Ernest Newton.
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're free to go back. Mr. Singleton.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of felony theft by taking, 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, 1 count of possession of tools during the commission of a crime. I'm going to set a $10,000 bond for the theft by taking as it relates to the catalytic converter, $5,000 bond for criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and a $5,000 bond for possession of tools during the commission of a crime. So that's a total bond of $20,000. So you believe you can post that bond?
No.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 15th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to post a bond. But if not, then you'll have your preliminary hearing on that date. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay. Mr. Whipple. Mr. Whipple, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Darius Dixon. Do you understand that?
Could I say something, sir?
When I finish, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 16th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what was your question, Mr. Whipple?
I just got out of jail like 10 days ago. They sent me to this housing and they don't rob me. And they done sent threats or something. They was arguing with my mama or something on the phone and stuff. And they got my card. They got my card. So I just got the mom says all the money ain't on the card or something. So I can't even give him the money because he's gonna pay now.
Okay, that sounded more like a statement than a question.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Williams. Is Mr. Williams OTB?
No, sir, he's here, sir.
Oh, okay. Mr. Williams, you've been charged with 3 driving related offenses and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're gonna have a $100 bond set on driving a vehicle with no insurance, a $500 bond on knowingly driving a vehicle with a suspended or canceled registration, $1,500 bond for driving a vehicle on a suspended license, and $1,500 bond for driving a vehicle, for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So you're gonna have a total bond set at, what's that, $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, I believe so, but I'm sorry about the charges. Could you repeat the 2 that was driving?
Okay, there's
Not the marijuana related ones.
okay, so 1 is driving a vehicle with no insurance. The
Right.
second count is, it says driving a vehicle with an invalid registration. And that
The registration is valid. I can prove that in court, and then as well as with the insurance, I just left my car insurance. My girlfriend, we have 1 car right now. She's military, retired military actually. So her car, she got in an accident a couple months ago. I'm a DJ, so my money comes from pretty much tip outs from dancers. As far as the we did speak to a bail bondsman already, so I believe we do have like some arrangements, but it wasn't. I don't think it was $4,000.
Well, it's gonna be a little bit higher because the sheriff's department is required to add fees to every bond, and I don't have that fee schedule. So every bond that I set or that is preset is without the fees that are added. But because the sheriff's department does this every day, a million times a day, they know exactly what the fee schedule is, and they could tell you what is going to be the true bond amount.
Is there any way I can possibly have it reducted as far as like for the time being, as or at least even if I had to do like community service or something like that, I wouldn't mind doing that as well, just to actually get out of the situation. Like I said, I'm a DJ, that's my job. I'm supposed to be at Onyx Atlanta right now, so that's one place that DJ can is, another one as well. But they all are based upon pretty much, there's a big in DJs in Atlanta. Everyone comes here to play music in general, but that's how I make my living, and it's 2 big clubs, and I don't want to lose those. So to kind of get back into the situation, because this not Chipotle. I was a manager at Chipotle as well, but I left that to become a DJ because it's more consistent and it's more timely needed. But it's a matter of me being here, and I'm supposed to be there at 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock today, and then tomorrow.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. These bonds are set by schedule, which means group of judges sat down and decided what is the appropriate amount for each of these offenses. Ideally, it's so that you get arrested, you can just go ahead and make your arrangements to bond yourself out and never have to appear before a judge. So I'm gonna leave it the way that it's set. Um, you know, the these offenses are ones that you're gonna have to get straightened out.
Right.
And the solicitor's office, I think they're doing like a what you call it, a amnesty thing now for these misdemeanors, to try to work it down. Stuff like this is stuff that they will most likely put you on probation or tell you to get this worked out, and they'll dismiss the charges. And so that's something that you're going to have to look into doing. Okay.
I appreciate
All
it.
right, sir. You're free to go back.
Okay, I think we have one more question now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the marijuana, it was actually CPD, and my girl's, like I told you, she was military, so she had PTSD. It wasn't like, once they actually, if they do test it, then they're gonna see that it's not that. It was for her anxiety and for.
Was she in the car?
She wasn't in the car. I had literally just dropped her off. So the situation was, she came to pretty much get my belongings from the car because I just dropped her off and I was pulling off from the house when they pulled like up on me. So she had just got out of the car, and like she even talked to the officers, and they gave her my phone and everything like that to actually, because they know that she.
There is, look, y'all are gonna have to be careful about that, because if she has that and it's prescribed to her, the thing that people don't realize is possession can be actual or constructive. So if you're in the car and it's in the car, you're in constructive possession of it,
But I
whether
thought
it's in your,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
whether it's in your pocket or whether it's somewhere else.
Right, and she wasn't in there, so it was on my possession. Right.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that, but like what I was saying is CPD is not like illegal. THC and marijuana is illegal. It doesn't get you high. It's just to stop the anxiety and help with her PTSD, because she literally like retired mid coronavirus, in coronavirus. So it's like she's still getting over that. Like, I'm a DJ, so I get off late. I got put over 12. I was just gonna kick it down, going home to her to get through the night, because like I said, I'm a DJ, so it's like going to sleep after being in a club is not the easiest, and then having someone sleep next to you who's a military veteran, sergeant, and jumping up because whatever happened in the war. So
Yeah, I mean, I understand and I get it. I'm just telling you, you got to do certain things to protect yourself. Because until there's a test conducted for, they know exactly what's in there. If they believe it's something that contains THC, it contains THC for the purpose of being arrested. And it'll have to get tested. Like I told the other people, the state of Georgia has to prove the charges, but it's a preponderance standard. So it's that this looks like it's something that contains THC.
Right.
And that's enough to get you arrested. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. You're free to go back.
What was the
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.